Today, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. I think YouTube should add reaction images in the comment sections. You should be able to leave an image as a comment instead of just text. And this should extend out to GIFs too. And I'm going to tell you why I believe this would be a fantastic idea. So stay tuned. You see, look, YouTube is weird. It's really weird compared to a lot of social media platforms because YouTube is the key place where you watch long-term content made by others. So not movies, not TV shows, but someone in their bedroom or kitchen or wherever making a video. YouTube is the place you come and find that. And the crazy thing about this is that a lot of the times it allows there to be more emotion in the videos because there is no professional standard. You don't have to do anything. You can be as expressive and as creative as you want. So why not let our reactions be as expressive and creative as the content creators? If I'm watching a YouTuber scream their head off, why can't I comment an image of another person screaming their head off? Why can't I comment an image agreeing or disagreeing, showing emotion, something that words can't convey? Because just like that quote you've heard a million times, an image can speak 1,000 words. And not to get philosophical, this is an absolutely meaningless rant, but let me get deeper into why I think this is really a good idea. Now, I'm going to start this by circling back to what I said. YouTube is really weird, and videos with millions of views may just have a couple thousand comments. Now, that actually is a lot of comments, but we tend to only look at the top 10, 20, 30 or so. And this actually extends beyond YouTube. If you go on Instagram Reels or TikTok, you often don't scroll past the first 10, 20, or 30 comments. But as a certified internet addict, I noticed that I cared far more about comments on Instagram and TikTok than I did on YouTube. And the gears started turning in my head. Why? Why don't I remember YouTube comments, but I do remember TikTok comments? And then I realized you can use pictures, videos, and GIFs, whereas for YouTube, you can't. I mean, at best, you can spam emojis and hope that your emotions are being properly conveyed. But that's it. What if a moment in a video is really similar to a TV show or a movie, and I want to show a reference? What if a video made me laugh in a certain way, and there's a clip of, I have no idea, I Show Speed laughing in the exact same way? For the vigilant among you, yes, my previous videos on reaction images, which you really should check out, are what put me in the headspace to make this conclusion, that images, videos, and GIFs would be so much better. Now, how would YouTube actually go about this? Because there's a few paths they can walk down, and I want to talk about that. The first is complete anarchy, or in other words, you can use any custom image or video in your camera roll. Now, instantly, I'm sure a lot of you can see quite the issue with such an idea. There's kids that use this app, even though YouTube Kids exists for some reason. YouTube, you should figure that out. But there's kids that use this platform. What if some malicious person puts some, crazy gore or whatever image? That's a fair point. The counter argument to that would be, do exactly what TikTok has done. AI recognition. AI has gotten to the point where it can recognize if there's some bad things going on in a picture or video. And that's why if you go on TikTok, it's actually decently rare to find an inappropriate picture. Now, it's definitely possible. Their moderation system is not perfect, but you kind of have to go searching for it. It doesn't just pop up immediately. So that's option one, leaving it completely anarchistic with just some AI and even a bit of manual moderation. Path two, preset images and videos. This is Instagram's approach. For those of you who use Reels, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, when you want to comment an image or a GIF on an Instagram Reel, you click on the little icon and it gives you a selection, and you can search in this selection for a video you want. I could type in smiling and it'll show pre-made, pre-inserted pictures and GIFs of smiling. All of these are approved by humans. I'm not exactly sure if it's Instagram users or Instagram employees that insert these images, but nonetheless, they're put under review, and if approved, you can find it. They're given a name, which you can search up. For example, if there's a GIF of someone celebrating a birthday, and it's named Birthday 2026, you can type in Birthday 2026, and you find that GIF. It's a little difficult to find what you want, which is why I believe TikTok's system is better, but that's just a personal preference. Regardless, it makes moderation far easier because all of the images have to be pre-approved before they're even used. So it's a lot more difficult for there to be a scandalous case of inappropriate images flooding YouTube comment sections. Now, the counter argument, less freedom. I mean, sure, it would add far more options than what currently exists, but yeah, it would be less free than an anarchistic approach. If you're liking this video so far, consider hitting that like button, maybe even subscribing. I would appreciate it a lot. But alright, let's get back to the video. Now that I've laid out those two paths, I want to talk about something a little deeper, and it is the counter argument to adding any reaction images at all. And that is, what if it removes thoughtful comments? But a lot of the times, the top comment on a video with 1 million views images will be a really smart comment. It'll be something insightful. Maybe that's just because I watch documentaries and, you know, those are a little more intellectual, but there'll often be some higher thinking going on in the comment section. And a big worry could be, what if that's just eliminated? What if the top comments are all just slop reaction images? And that's a completely valid concern. It's actually my own biggest concern about such a concept. I can admit that TikTok and Instagram comment sections are kind of just slop. Now, that has carried over in text form to YouTube long form and especially YouTube shorts. So, what about a compromise? YouTube shorts already are slop. Let's face it, everyone knows YouTube shorts are slop. So what if instead we used approach 1 or 2 from earlier on just YouTube shorts? That could be a good starting approach, right? Instead of instantly implementing it into long form videos, which could be messier, YouTube could experiment by allowing it in shorts. I'm all about choice. I really think that most systems are perfect when everyone can choose their own way to do things. So what about a toggle? What if for those who don't want to see these slop images in the comment sections, you could just switch it off and every comment with an attached image or GIF would just be hidden? I really don't think it would be that difficult. Sure, it would be more coding, but I mean, YouTube is a billion-dollar company. I think they could do it, is what I'm trying to say. Now, I've talked about how it could be done and what the drawbacks could be. But lastly, I want to talk about why. Why add reaction images? Beyond the simple explanation of creativity that I've given so far, why add such a feature? Why should YouTube care at all? And that's because in this year, 2026, we interact differently than even just 10 years ago. A lot of communication is decentralized. There's no big monolith app where this is where you text everyone. We've moved towards more versatility. We want to be on different apps. We want to use Instagram Reels and TikTok, even though from an outsider's perspective, they're 90% similar. Everything offers something a little bit unique, and this carries over to reaction images because the reaction images of TikTok are their own culture compared to the reaction images of Instagram, and the reaction images on a potential YouTube implementation would be entirely different from those two as well. Again, versatility, the choice to express yourself even more, the choice to see others expressing themselves even more, the choice as a creator to see how your audience feels. I mean, hey, I'm a creator, right? You guys are watching this video. I want to see how you really feel, because sure, you could type all you want, but a lot of images, most as a matter of fact, communicate themselves better than words. So just having that option is the why behind such a feature. I believe there's no reason not to give it a shot. If anything, I think it can up engagement in videos. Imagine each video being its own cultural microcosm, its own center for talking. Imagine instead of 200 comments in a video with 10,000 views, imagine there was 2,000. And while that definitely sounds overwhelming to a lot of you, imagine you could just switch it off. Again, versatility. It's amazing, right? Imagine you could just see the top comments. Imagine you could keep what was there before, but everyone who wanted something new would get it. Literally, the only thing holding that back is how lazy is YouTube. I want to hear what you have to think, so let me know down in the comments below.